Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Mo,
And this is Kay.
and we're going to talk about season 6, episode 1 of Game of Thrones, named
The Red Woman.
The Red Woman. So, what do you think of it, Kay?
Well, they continued off with how they ended last season. John's body.
John's dead body.
John's dead body, supposedly, yeah. Davos comes in. So, Davos hears ghost howling.
Howden, yeah.
So, yeah, it was a surprise. How did he... How come... What was it?
Well, it was only Davos that heard it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, no, it's fine. He heard it. Okay, he got out. But what made it worse is the guys that came out, the Federal Night's Watch. You know, they were all
Loyal men.
loyal men to Jon Snow. Yeah.
The only one we recognised was Ed. We never saw the others in the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, there were this other cast members. But yeah, I mean, I still like the scene. We saw Davos was a bit worried. His best friend King Stannis died in the previous season.
I suppose Davos is finding a new purpose in his
Find a
life.
new purpose, someone new to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
possibly. And he finds him dead in the
snow.
in Castle Black. Yeah. Then what happens? They take him to a room, and we see the Red Woman.
When Sandra comes in,
Yeah.
like she expected it to happen. Like she knew he was going to die.
Her face, yeah. You know, she knocked on the door and said, "Sir Davos." It's like she knew what was happening. Yeah, she kind of knew what would happen. She didn't really know what was happening, but she was expecting something.
Yeah.
And then when she saw John's dead body, her face was shocked. She, what did she say? You know, I saw him
fight in Winterfell.
One of her visions in the flames. Yeah, that was a bit. Yeah, that was strange. And then we see Sir Alistair Thorne explaining his actions to a disgruntled Night's Watch. You know.
Yeah, the brothers were actually pissed.
Yeah, surprised. I mean, there was a few. You can hear a few guys saying in the background, "He didn't deserve it."
Yeah.
But that was talking about him being the Lord Commander.
And then after Alistair Thorne explains to them why he did it, they sort of agreed.
They kind of took him as a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alistair Thorne explained his actions. He admitted that he hated Jon.
He admitted that it was treason.
Yeah. And he didn't doubt Jon's sincerity, yeah, and his kindness, but he felt that he had to do that to save the Night's Watch.
I still think he was being honourable. Yeah. So staying in the north, we move down to Winterfell, and Ramsay is mourning the Kettlemaster's daughter.
Miranda, I think her name is. Yeah, she obviously Sansa and Theon threw her off the balcony.
Yeah, she looked like she came out okay.
Yeah,
She's like a little scratch on her face.
Ramsay was sort of emotional. I thought, is that the real Ramsay? Has Ramsay changed?
Did he really love her? Is he gonna miss her? But then when the maester comes in and advises how he should bury her,
we see Ramsay's true colours.
Yeah, we see these crazy side come out again. And then it moves on to Roose Bolton praising Ramsay's defeating Stannis. But at the same time he was scolding him for losing Sansa and Theon. Because you know it was explained to him that they're valuable assets for them to remain in Winterfell and to hold the north.
Yeah. And obviously, Sansa's a valuable asset. But what surprises me is Roose Bolton stays calm and
he's a very calm individual. Doesn't let outcomes
calm,
affect his
collected.
character.
Both in the show and the books, he's very calm. He knows what he's doing. He's focused.
He reminds Ramsay that he needs an heir to Winterfell, and with Sansa not being there, it looks like his son to be.
Oh yeah, with the Freyja.
Yeah, so he reminds him that you could lose Winterfell to my true son, and not to you. And then it moves on to Sansa and Theon, who've been running away for the past couple of hours, and being chased by Bolton men.
Brienne and Podrick turn up. Remember, Brienne just killed Stannis, so she's ahead of Sansa.
Yeah, and how did they know that Sansa's escaped? Winterfell. But I mean, yeah, we can look at these problems, but I prefer these parts to be done quickly, because then they're not too important. We want to get to the actual story of the North, of the North Rising, which we predict is going to happen. So yeah, Brienne pledges loyalty to Sansa. Heading south, we go to King's Landing, and we are reintroduced to Cersei.
Yeah, she looks calm and happy. She's actually looking forward to seeing Marcella.
Yeah.
After Tyrion sent her off to get married. So, but then you see her shock and her disappointment as the ship approaches.
Yeah, when Jaime's bringing the princess. So she's going through many emotions. So at the beginning, it's she notices it's a ship from Dawn, and Jaime's there. She's happy, looking forward to being reunited with her daughter, and slowly her face is coming to the realization that, hold up, who's that covered in?
She knows. Obviously, the Maggie, the frog prophecy, was told to her.
She brings it up to Jaime, who thinks it's a bit absurd.
Yeah. He's a sort of atheist in the Westeros world. So.
But then she brings the proof. So far, the prophecy has been fulfilled. Just the one kid left now, isn't it? The king himself, Tommen.
I think she becomes extra protective of him this season.
Yeah, it looks like it. Jaime reminds her, that fuck the prophecy and fuck fate, fuck everyone who isn't us. This is Lannisters, and he's promising revenge, and he's going to do whatever it takes for the Lannisters to take back what was lost.
Yeah, and then the Dawn incident. That was
before the Dawn incident, we're showing the Queen Marjorie and the High Sparrow have a little discussion about sin.
Oh yeah,
bit of a boring scene, but I think what's going to happen is she's going to play into his hands and into the High Sparrow's hand. I think she's going to be a bit of a puppet.
I think so too, but in the trailer we saw Jaime with a Tyrell army behind him, so it looks like they're going to hold her. They're going to hold Marjorie and what's the other guy's name? Sir Loras. Yeah. So I think Jaime's going to storm into the Sept.
Yeah, it's definitely a tense scene. We don't know what's going to happen. They just left us on a cliffhanger in the trailer. So maybe Marjorie comes out as a reformed believer, or maybe she's playing the game still. Who knows? We'll have to see in the next few episodes. But like you did say, we head further south to Dawn.
That was Dawn was a joke last year. I think
it continued as a joke in this first episode.
I think the producers knew that they had to end it.
Yeah, at least they've done it quickly, and it was ended as quickly as Aereo Holtar's death. Yeah,
the greatest warrior in Dawn killed by a sand snake.
One stroke on the back with one stab wound, put him in his belly. And Prince Doran was also murdered by the sand snakes, and Prince Trystane was also murdered, which was quite sad because he looked like he was a good guy. It's pretty sad. Him and Marcella both dying.
They were just caught up in everything. They were just innocent.
Caught up in the game, as they say.
Okay, then the episode moves on to across the Narrow Sea to Essos, and we see Tyrion and Varys
in Meereen.
Discussing politics.
Talking politics, yeah.
I enjoy their one-liners, their jokes and stuff.
Yeah, they're my two favourite characters. When they're together, like when they were in King's Landing, I love their interaction and their wits and how they smock each other. But at the same time, they were like on the same kind of...
Yeah, like saving the realm and same sort of...
we see the kill the masters, Maesters and Master. We see those graffitis on the wall written in English. So it kind of shows the political landscape in Meereen. It's uncertainty that Daenerys has flew off. Meereen's not really in control, and it's a bit tense. We see a Red Priestess as well praising Daenerys, which I thought was a bit strange. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think the red R'hllor religion are kind of backing Daenerys in Meereen. It's on the rise, actually.
So it's a religion on the rise. Yeah, we see it in well, we're slowly seeing it in Westeros with
Thoros
and Melisandre. Yeah, so they're like they're doing their preaching. They discussed the Sons of the Harpy. Varys noted that at
the end of last season, it seemed proper organised and well planned. So it seems like they have a leader.
That's what Varys was saying, and his little birds that he likes to call them, are trying to find that leader, if there is one. And then that scene moves on to the docks where we see the ships being burnt, most likely by the Sons of the Harpy. A whole fleet, I think it looks like it's
like a whole fleet.
Yeah, look like the whole fleet. The whole of Daenerys' fleets have been burnt down.
So it doesn't look like she's going to Westeros anytime soon.
I
think people from Westeros will be coming to Essos because of the White Walkers, maybe.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely not leaving Essos with her ships. Maybe another fleet will come to the rescue. You never know. And then we go to Daario and Jorah the Explorer, looking for any tracks, any hints of Daenerys, which they do.
They see a ring, and
they find her ring. Yeah,
they see the leftovers of the Dothraki horde. They can tell from the grass.
Yeah, they're quite good at tracking. And we have a little scene where he looks at his arm, and the grey skull is becoming worse, and he's becoming a bit more worried about it. I think he knows he's kind of dying. It's going to happen eventually. So he probably has his mindset is probably it's when I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. So
he's going to do whatever it takes to for his queen. And him and Dora have a strange relationship where they both are in love with the same woman, and they both know that they both fancy her. But it's kind of like they're aware of each other.
Daenerys is obviously leaning towards Daario.
Yeah.
But Jorah's too old. He knows he can't have her.
But he calls him an old man a few times, like an old-fashioned. That's it. And then so we move on to the Dothraki Sea, and we find Daenerys imprisoned with the whole of the
Dothraki. Yeah, with Khal Moror's blood riders.
Yeah, they're mocking her.
And the slaves behind her. She's actually taken as a slave. They don't really know who she is really until she confesses.
Yeah, which I thought was quite strange because she's has very unique looks. Her eyes and her hair, they stand out with amongst the Dothraki, and she was married to their previous Khal, so I'm surprised they didn't know who she was
she's famed for her beauty.
In season 5, when they found her and they took her, I thought they knew who she was from afar, so a scout probably spotted her.
Yeah, exactly.
And they knew that was Daenerys.
They found her with a dragon as well. Or did the dragon?
No, the dragon wasn't with. She
left the dragon.
She left the dragon. Yeah, she went somewhere else. So she was still in the same area, but she was looking for food, I think. So I thought that was a bit strange. So she tells him that she's the Khaleesi, and Khal Moro decides to send her to Vassal Thrak. He was mocking her and telling her he was gonna sleep with her, but as soon as she
identified herself as the Khaleesi of
Khal
Drogo,
he backed off. Yeah,
and he started talking to her with respect.
Yeah, and then we move on to Braavos
and Arya.
Yeah. One of my other favourite characters. She's big in the streets, isn't she?
Yeah, she's obviously blind, and we noticed that because she's blind, we overhear the street talk.
She's overhearing the street talk, so it becomes more clear to us and to her, isn't it?
That she's training. That she's.
I think they were talking about the knights, the King's Guard that died, which was obviously Mirren Trent.
Yeah.
So she's training, she's becoming...
I like that they didn't drift off too much from the books, because with Arya, they followed the books to the T, I guess. Yeah,
and then the Waif comes and beats her up again. Well, beats her up. She likes beating her, doesn't she?
She likes beating her. I guess it's just part of her training.
Yeah, training or just someone is a bit...
You can tell that Arya will be someone special at the end of the series, at the end of the show.
An assassin.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the Night's Watch again. We go back to North and we see Alistair Thorne and the Night's Watch surrounding Davos and the few remaining men loyal to Jon Snow. I think that Alistair Thorne was banging on the door, trying to get them to discuss an amnesty and negotiate a surrender. So the loyalists, I think they're discussing amongst themselves who's going to survive this.
And Davos shares a joke about food with Alistair.
Yeah.
I think Alistair just wants to. I think he wants to wipe out the last remaining
loyalists to Jon, and then take power. Like a coup in the Night's Watch. Yeah, and then so while the loyalists are discussing their chances of survival, relying on Ed to bring the wildlings, which is they see as very slim chance, Davos brings up Melisandre's power that can possibly save them. So he is aware of Melisandre's powers as a witch, which then takes us to the next scene.
Yeah, the next scene actually really messed up with everybody. Nobody was expecting that. Obviously, she took off her necklace, and then you see, or what we assume, that an old woman.
There was rumours that she was an old woman, but this kind of proves it. Yeah,
and it gives us a little snippet of what's going to happen in the next book, Winds of Winter. Yeah, so
Melisandre in the whole episode, she looked a bit distraught. She had like a loss of faith. She was questioning herself, questioning her faith. You know, Jon's dead and Stannis is dead.
Perhaps when Jon comes back or something like that,
reflame her faith.
Yeah, exactly.
So all in all, it was a good episode. I'm not going to complain too much because it was the first episode. But you can argue that the first episode should have been
longer. At least. Hour and 10 minutes at least. Just to give us more glimpses of the other characters. But
I liked how they kind of covered the first 3 or 4 days of the episode when Jon Snow died. And
Theon and Sansa running. So it sort of continued off straight from there. But we didn't see Bran or who else we didn't see Bran. The Ironborn.
Yeah, but they were obviously in the trailers, so they're definitely.
I was really looking forward to Bran because we never saw him in the whole of season 5.
They could have just added those two scenes, the Iron Islands and Beyond the Wall with Bran. That could have just been extra 2-3 minutes each, and that could have been an proper episode length. But so that in that case, saying that, I'm looking forward to the next episode, Oathbreaker, and hopefully you guys can join us for our review on that episode.
Yeah, we'll try to upload the video a day
or two, because we're from the UK and it shows on Monday
2 a.m.
so we can't really do a review. We don't want to spoil it for the British viewers, so we'll do it on a Tuesday like we've done today's episode. Alright, thanks for listening up.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.